You're now listening to the 1130 podcast. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Y'all already know what it is, man. Welcome back, everyone, to the 1130 podcast. What's good, everybody doing out there? It is Wednesday. You know what time it is. It's not 7:30, it's 11:30. It's time for the podcast. Good morning to everyone who's listening to me on EB Radio this morning. And for those who came back to tune in and watch on YouTube, appreciate it so much. If you're new to the 1130 podcast, y'all already know, man. Hit that subscribe button down below, like it, comment, all that great stuff. And don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, it's Wednesday, so it's time for the podcast. I got an amazing guest, man, that's joining me. As you can see, man, he's the 1130 podcast legendary guest. He's been here, I'm not even counting, no more. But my man, Chris from El Paso, Texas, he's the host of Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. He's going to be joining me back here on the 1130 podcast this week, man. For real, we about to get into the show. We ain't going to waste no more time after last week's show. Man, I want to, before we get to Chris, thank everyone for all the congratulations and all the, support that hit me up in the inbox and who left a comment on YouTube last week. I appreciate it so much. And as everyone know already, I'm going to be a dad. So yes, appreciate everyone for the calls and all that. So man, the love has been amazing. But other than that, Chris, man, what's going on with you, my guy?
What's up, brother? Thank you for bringing me back on. Dude, I mean, we've done this podcast, like a few times, like 4 or 5 times. So it's pretty cool to be back on. But shout out to you. Big congratulations to you, by the way. We'll get into that. We won't fucking spoil it yet, but I'm just glad to be back on, man. This has been great. I've seen the evolution of this podcast from the beginning to what it is now. It looks great. All the graphics are dope as fuck. So I'm just glad to be here, bro. Let's get it.
Hey, man, for real, man. Let's get it. Like you said, man, you've been here a couple of times. I love vibing with you. You hit me up and was like, yo, man, I want to come back on the podcast. And most definitely, last time I had you here was the 100th episode, here on the podcast. And since then, man, it's just been, been crazy. Been on some ups and downs, though, but it's just been dope. As everyone know, last time you was here, like I said, the 100th episode, my page got hacked. It's a new year, but we here now. How's everything going on with you, though?
Everything's been good, man. I mean, dude, how fast has January flew by? Like, that shit went by so fast.
Yeah.
We're already into fucking February. But I mean, like I said, or I haven't said, but we're just fucking grinding over here. We're just getting the most content out, trying to do the podcast every week, just like you. And we're just living life out here, man. Just trying to get by,
Yeah, definitely trying to get by, man. Because, man, as like I said, it's gonna be a rocky next couple of months, though. You touched on it too, when we was chatting off air, man, of me being a dad and stuff like that. And I'm super excited about that. And I'll thank you for all the congratulations and everything, man. And I was telling everybody that I gotta reach out to majority of my dads or my brothers, now to find some support in, because now it's getting it's getting there. I'm a little stressed now. I ain't stressed, I just be I'm yes
our boy Dre over here is scared right now.
But it's all cool, man.
Right.
I say yeah,
real fast, honestly, I don't have kids, but my brother has kids. I have a bunch of homies that have kids. So I've seen, the progression that people go through when they have kids. But I think, Dre, for you, dude, I think you're going to be such a good dad, man. It's going to just it seems scary right now, which it should. But once all this happens, and I think once everything gets going, you'll be able to find your rhythm and you'll be able to be that good dad. You know what I mean? Because I've seen so many times, bro, a lot of people they fuck up with being a dad, and it's not really that hard. You just got to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people just they drop the ball and they just don't want to give their time or whatever. And like that's cool. But I mean, if you're gonna be a dad, like you should at least fucking commit to that, you know?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I'm all down with committing with it because like I said, what type of person that I will be or father that I will be to follow, in my father's footsteps. I talked about trauma or black trauma or just trauma here on the podcast before. My father was, never there for me growing up. So I always, said to myself, even though, life happens. Everybody was like, oh man, I'm not gonna have kids, or you just never know, and things just happen. And like I said, I'm excited, but my father was never there. But what would I be like to not be there for my, son or my daughter or my child? Like, so it's definitely so. I had a lot of people telling me I'm gonna be a great dad. I know I'm gonna spoil them a lot, probably take them to a whole bunch of wrestling events and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's normal that everyone, says, it's gonna be, until it comes, it's gonna be a little nervous and scared. I be in the cut smoking my backwoods, my backwoods, get myself right first, man, because I be like, all right, woo, I gotta make sure I'm good though. But it's all good from there though, man. Definitely all good from there.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, like I think from the last time that I was on this podcast, like I actually got married. Like me and Lenny got married. We don't have kids, but we got married. And so like there's these steps in life that like you kind of have to take, and like you you never know if it's really ever gonna like for sure work out, but you gotta at least like do it and then just like give your best to like make sure that everything you want like kind of like sort itself out in a way. But I think for you, dude, I mean like being a first time father, like it's a good opportunity for you, and like you've been through some things where now you can like now you know what a father should be, you know what I mean, and you can act that way in this role that you're in.
Yeah, definitely. You're definitely right about that, man. It's definitely, seeing, certain people go down certain different paths and be like, you know what, man, I definitely don't want to do that. So I definitely want to be, a good father. I know that's what it's gonna be, man, for real.
Yeah, and overall, congratulations to you. Just in that, just congratulations.
Hey, I appreciate it. We talking about kids and stuff. And you and Leonard, man, are married. You guys are, thinking about kids or so?
Yeah, I mean, maybe like down the line, but we still have to finish school. There's some shit I want to do personally, like to accomplish first, and then we'll consider that later. But it's always there. You know what I mean? It's always there because you never know when it can happen. Yeah. But like right now, the focus is just trying to like, get my degree, just like kind of better ourselves a little bit before we commit to that,
Oh yeah, definitely. A little one is definitely going to be running around this summer, and I can definitely see in the next year or so, we can have a little Chris or a little Leonard definitely running around, and you guys chatting about that.
It would be a fucking terror, I'm telling you. I was a terrible kid. I was like a super terrible kid, just had so much energy, didn't listen to anyone. Like I'm scared.
Oh yeah, you was one of the kids that was all over the place, huh?
Yeah, dude, for sure. Like I just remember, like my family used to go out every Sunday and have like a dinner somewhere, and then once I came around, they couldn't do that anymore because when they would go to a restaurant or anything, like I couldn't be controlled. I would just be running all over the place. Like I was just a problem.
Yeah, that's how it be, man. That's how it be for some kids, man. They just be all over the place, man, and be a problem, man. Be a problem. But not for me, man. On more you, man. How's life been treating you, and what's going on with El Paso, Texas, man? Because I know, the times we living in right now, and it's been snowing here on the East Coast, and I don't know how it been down in El Paso for you.
Bro, El Paso has like no winter. Like there is no winter here. Like it's crazy. Like it's literally like it goes from like super hot in the summer because it gets hot as fuck here, right? And then it goes from super hot to like a little bit of cold, and then like after that's all there is. There is no like winter. Like we don't go through like because I know you guys are having like blizzards and shit, right?
Well, I mean, like here on the East Coast, we are though. But like I said, here, we get like the edge of everything. Like Maryland next to us in Virginia, they get like a foot of snow, 2 feet of snow. we get like 6 inches or something like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah. But me, I personally
Dre, do you realize what 6 inches of snow would do to El Paso?
it would shut everything down.
Shut everything down. There'd be like a million crashes because nobody can handle themselves in the snow. Like, dude, you don't understand. Like, this place is really like we're not used to cold weather. We're not prepared for it. We don't have the infrastructure to deal with it. Like, people don't put chains on their tires. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're just this place where it's like, normally it's either hot or it's just kind of like warm. There is no there's no drastic like fucking weather events like hurricanes or fucking like blizzards or anything like that. That doesn't happen here.
Oh man, see, that's my type of weather though. That's my type of weather. I always say it.
Nice. It's cool. It's cool if you want to come over here. Like, we're chilling. We've been chilling all year, dude.
I know, right? You guys in Florida just been chilling, man.
No, we've been chilling, bro. We're good. Like, don't worry about us. We're straight.
For real, like a couple of weeks ago, man, here in Maryland, man, a bunch of people got stuck on the highway because it was snowing. And
dude,
stuff.
I saw that, dude.
I was like, bro, like that couldn't have been me, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm ready to change places.
Okay, so real fast, Dre. I saw something about that article, right?
Yeah.
Where, like, okay, so you know how like the movement is now, like we're going for electric cars, right? Yeah. We're trying to like, we don't want to be so dependent on fossil fuels, whatever, like gas, all that shit, right? So somebody made a very good point. The people that were stranded on that highway, if they had an electric car, they're fucked. They're absolutely fucked. You know what I mean? Because once you run out of fucking electricity, you're done. And it's the same with gas, but with gas, I feel like it lasts longer. So I heard people talking about that. I thought that was interesting because it's like, yeah, what do you do in that situation?
Yeah. What do you do in that situation? And now starting to see a whole lot of commercials and stuff, and with these whole cars that they going electric and stuff like that. So I really don't know. Times are definitely changing with that, man. Because I was like,
yeah, dude, for sure.
I'm ready to move down to wherever it's warm at. I'm like the birds or certain animals. I will hibernate. Real fast. I'm not going outside. If I gotta go outside, run to the store real fast, or if I'm going to an appointment, but none of that, sitting outside at 10 degrees. Nah, hell no.
Right, cold as fuck, dude. Like, Jesus Christ, like, just get over it. Just come down to Texas. We're good.
Okay, I definitely will, man. I definitely will. What's popping down in Texas, man? Because I'm definitely trying to come down there and have fun, because I ain't traveled. At all last year because the COVID and stuff. So I'm definitely trying to take a summer trip.
So you ain't never been to Texas at all?
Man, I ain't. The only place I've been to was Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and obviously Maryland and Virginia because that's like next door.
Yeah. I mean, that's just down the fucking coast.
Yeah, really. That's down the street. So
that's really. I mean, because like, I think one thing people need to understand is like El Paso is part of Texas, but Texas is way different than El Paso is. Like, if you look at like a map, like El Paso is like so far from anything else in Texas, like Austin, Houston, Dallas, like Galveston, all these places that are popping. El Paso is just like fucking all the way west. Like, we are like literally in New Mexico, Arizona. And so I think a lot of people don't realize that, but Texas itself is super popping. Dallas, Houston, like all those places, like there's a lot of shit to do over there. But El Paso's kind of its like own little thing because of how close we are to Mexico. Like, we sit on the border with Mexico, and Juarez, our sister city, has a lot of influence on the way that El Paso works. Like, it's hard to explain, dude. Like, if you've never been here, you would never like be able to realize like how close we are to another fucking country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I hear it all the time. El Paso is, like even you said, next door, right there, New Mexico and stuff. But definitely got to come down there and take a trip, man, for real. Cause I'm here.
I would say, Dre, for you, if you wanted to experience like Texas, don't come to El Paso. Go to Dallas. Go to Houston. Go to Austin, because that's where like the real Texas vibe is. El Paso is its own little fucking deal over here, like way over to the left. But Texas itself, Dallas, Austin, like Houston, all those cities, lit, super lit, dude.
Okay, definitely gotta take a trip there, man, for real, to Texas. Speaking of Texas, you guys, we're gonna move on the podcast. Brownsville, Texas. There was some things going down there last week. Tisha Campbell, known as Gina from Martin, it was a trending topic that went, viral. Story, she was, down in Brownsville, Texas, I believe, doing a movie or whatever like that, and I believe she couldn't get an Uber. So she was like, yo, I need to catch a cab. And she was standing at this hotel, and the person gave her this number to to the cab. And she called there, taxi pulled up, and it was pretty strange, as she say in the video. And
don't freak out, but I think I almost got snatched up. So they don't have Ubers where I'm filming, and I had to call a taxi. So I get this number, but the truck that the van that pulls up is real sketchy looking, but there's a guy in the back seat, right? So when he jumps out, the guy is just standing there. I thought he was getting dropped off, but he's just standing there, and he goes, get in. And I go, what? He goes, get in. And I go, no. And then I look at the car, look inside the car, it's fucked up. The rubber is pulled up from the bottom. There's dirt everywhere. The back seat looked like it's snatched out for a fucking reason. And so the guy in the front seat, the driver goes, get in the car. And I go, well, I'm not getting in the car. And the guy in the back is like kind of mushing his body towards me to get in the car. And the guy says, well, then get in the front seat then. And I said, I'm not getting in that fucking car. Fuck y'all. Fuck out of here, right? I asked the lady at the front desk, I said, yo, who's the guy that gave me this number? And she was like, why would he give you this number? Yo, this trafficking shit is real, but they got me fucked up. They got me fucked up. Because I ain't Gina, bitch.
Says that she was almost taken by sex traffickers in Brownsville, Texas. And someone else was talking about that story, about sex trafficking and shit like that. So I was like, bro, Gina said, she was like, I'm not Gina in the video. Like, I ain't about to be playing no games though. But yeah, what's your thoughts on this right here in Brownsville, Texas, of sex trafficking?
Okay, so one thing about like Brownsville, right? It's similar to El Paso because they're near the border. They're right there, dude. They're right next to fucking Mexico. And this shit happens, dude. Like there are people that are like actively fucking smuggling like humans for like reasons like non-related to sex, but then there's also like there's people that are smuggling like little girls and like underage teens for like sex trafficking. Like that shit happens all the time over here. And I mean, it's not right. Obviously, we're not fucking advocating for that or anything, but I mean, it's something that because of the proximity to the border, like this shit actually happens. And there's a market for it, dude. There's money to be made doing this shit, unfortunately, but that's how it is. And like a lot of things by the border are super explicit. Like there's a lot of people that are selling drugs and they're running drugs through the border, or they're running firearms, guns. Like it's and then another thing too, dude. I don't know how many times you've seen like people getting busted for fentanyl coming into the border.
Yes.
And fentanyl is like one of the worst things you can have roaming the streets, because we've seen Mac Miller die. We've seen countless other fucking musicians die because like fentanyl.
It was just a little boy who just died off of fentanyl and stuff.
Right.
Like that,
like, dude, all this shit happens. Like people like don't really understand that. Like, yeah, at the border, whether it's Brownsville or El Paso, fucking Corpus Christi, anything along the border, like all these fucking problems exist.
Yeah, man. It's crazy though, for real though. Like everybody got to, be safe with that, man. But you're definitely right, man. Definitely, drugs, and that's the most common one, drugs, and the other one you named, but guns.
They're fucking like trafficking guns and people. Like, dude, I follow this Facebook page, and it's like a border patrol page, like somewhere based in Central Texas. Every time they make a bus, they put that shit on the fucking Facebook, and they fucking bus like 30 people inside a fucking 18-wheeler crammed in the back.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, man. Like when I be seeing that, I be like, that's unbelievable. You know, I understand people trying to live. Yeah, and I understand people trying to live, a free life and do what they want to do. But man, 50
Bro, it's
people
wild.
in a minivan.
Yeah, it's wild, bro. Like it's fucking wild out here. Like it's crazy. And like the only thing that's gonna fix it is if people. Well, I mean, I don't even know if this would fix it, but I like the United States has to do something about how severe like the living conditions are in all the other countries in Mexico, Southern America, like Central America. Like, bro, they're never gonna stop coming. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Man, this country, this country don't care about nobody, but we all know who the country,
Right.
the government care about,
Right.
and not.
Yeah, we don't have to make this political, but I mean, it's just one of
Exactly.
those things we have to point out. Like,
Yeah.
this is never gonna stop.
Mm-hmm. Right about that, man. Like that's a WTF moment right there.
Yeah,
For you,
dude,
all the way,
crazy.
man.
Crazy. And then for
Crazy.
you being up like in the Northeast, like it doesn't really hit home as much, but being in Texas and like being in a border community, like you see this shit every day, bro. Like I'm not making this up. I'm not like there's no reason for me to make this up.
Mm-hmm.
Like this shit just happens, and it's part of everyday life, and it's part of people trying to make their life better, and they're willing to go to all these crazy fucking like scenarios to get to a better life, dude. It's wild.
Yeah, you right about that, man. That's some serious stuff, man. Real serious stuff. Like I was saying, WTF. And while we just WTF, we're gonna move on, you guys, man, to the WTF moment, you guys, man. Yes. WTF moment of the week, you guys. It's time. Chris, man, each and every week I got a WTF moment. I'm gonna share mine right after you share yours. You have a WTF moment of the week, any crazy thing you may have seen, heard, or saw.
Okay, so my WTF thing, right? So, okay, I don't know like how many of you guys are into the NFL or whatever, but Tom Brady like retired, but at the same time he didn't retire.
Okay.
There's been these rumors that like he's gonna retire, right? But then he's gonna come out and then go play for like San Francisco or somebody. But I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, dude, if you're gonna retire, just retire. Like, that's it. Like, we don't need to play games, bro. Like, you have already fucking won so many rings. You've been so successful. Like, don't play with us, bro. Just dip or not. Like, that's it. Like, Ben Roethlisberger, he's dipping. He said, I'm out. Like, do that. Like, don't be playing with our hearts, bro. Because like, I'm not a Patriots fan, but I have like a bunch of family members that were bandwagon Patriots fans, and I'm done with them. Like, it's over. Like, Tom Brady, let's get this shit over. Like, we're done. Let's. That's it. You know?
Yeah, man. Tom Brady is gonna go down as because I heard about the news and I'm like, okay, did he retire or did he not?
Are you retired or not? Like, yes, no.
I heard it because he posted on Twitter, but didn't take it down. Took it down. So
That's
it's like,
don't play with us, bro. Don't play with us. You've broken our hearts so many times. You don't have to play with us anymore, bro.
For every team, that people like that Tom Brady has went against and beaten, they like, you know what, man, let him retire. He cannot go one more season. He's taking somebody's spot up, man. For real, let him go.
That's like my WTF moment because like I even posted on my Facebook like, yo, Tom Brady retired, and then 5 hours later I see some reports like, he might not be retired. I'm like, God bless, bro. Like, when is this ever gonna end? Like, come on.
That is crazy. That's crazy. That's a WTF moment, man.
What you got on the on the WTF moment?
Okay, man. Mine's is what the fuck, man. It's always crazy, man. I try to add something crazy though, but nonetheless, you guys. It was a Chicago man, man. He was released from prison. After 20 years. He's spending like 20 years or so in prison. And, he was accused of murdering someone. But, the story would take a twist, some years ago. But finally, justice, I guess, was served in this one. But nonetheless, the guy, twin brother, actually committed the murder. So the guy went down for a murder 20 years ago that he did not commit and stuff. To find out his identical twin committed the
Southern
murder.
joins us to chat about some of the day's more interesting stories. And Richard, we begin with a Chicago man who is free tonight after spending 2 decades in prison for a crime his twin brother committed.
Okay, can you think about this? This is crazy. You're behind bars for almost 2 decades for a murder, and then your identical twin brother writes you a letter saying, "Sorry about that. It was actually me that did it." This is what happened. This is Kevin Duggar. Was the guy who spent almost 20 years behind bars, but he got out of jail this week. His twin brother, Carl Smith, confessed to the murder. He said in a letter, quote, "I have to get it off my chest before it kills me."
What?
He goes, "So I'll just come clean and pray you can forgive me."
What?
Now, there is
goodness.
another catch to this story, though, Melissa. Some people are saying maybe it's not 100% true because Carl on the right there, he has found himself in jail for 99 years. So they're thinking now that he's already in jail, maybe he's just trying to get his brother off the hook. But crazy story no matter how you look at it.
That
right?
is wild. No, absolutely wild. I'm sure there'll be a Netflix special on that very soon.
We can't wait for that
Right?
one.
He asked his brother about the murder and did he do it and stuff. His brother said no. He said, "No, I did not do it," and everything. And the brother was like, "Okay, cool." My man went to prison and and continued to serve time in prison until years and years went by. It was eating at the identical twin that he actually committed the murder and stuff. So he had to write him up, send him a letter, and stuff, and say, "Yo, you know what? I actually did it." But it took some time actually for him to actually get out of prison because the judges was like, "You know what? This is not, I don't know. This is sort of he say or whatever." But eventually, they got the identical brother, and the Chicago man was released from prison though. Like, I think that's WTF all the way, man. Like, for real, you got an identical twin. Usually, people who got twins, they feed off each other. They good. Damn, you're gonna use your twin in a bad way, and was like, "Yo, you know what? He did it." That's crazy,
bro. So look,
that's crazy.
Bro, I would never want to be a twin with anybody ever, bro. Look at this shit. You mean I'm gonna serve 20 years because my fucking twin did some stupid shit, bro? Like,
yes,
fuck? Dude. Honestly, I heard of this story. It's fucking crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy, right? But like, how, Dre? Just position yourself here, right? You're the brother that didn't do anything, right? And you're all calm, you're chill. All you do is play FIFA and like fucking do podcasts and shit, right? And then your wild ass brother that looks exactly like you, who does all this shit, gang banging, selling drugs, like all sorts of shit. He catches a body, bro, and they arrest you. Yes. And they take you to jail for 20 fucking years, bro. How mad would you be at your brother at that point? I'm furious. I'm fucking mad.
I can't. I don't have a. And the crazy thing is, I wanted to hear the guys, response and reaction from this, and his identical twin did this, but me personally, I can't. I'm not coming to see you. I'm not sending nothing on your books, brother. Like, I'm not. No, like, I don't want nothing to do with you, bro. Like, for real. I asked your ugly twin ass, did you do it? I asked you. What you say?
Ugly ass motherfucker.
I'm the good looking twin. You the ugly motherfucker, right? I asked you, and you clearly lied. Like,
right, bro. And my thing is too. He gave you 20 years, bro.
Yes.
He could have after a year said something.
Exactly.
He left you in there for 20 motherfucking years, bro.
Come on, all right now, like, for real, like how you just said, a year. Okay, all right, bad.
Right.
Damn,
right.
though, like 20 years went by. What did you like? Damn, he gone for 20 years though. Maybe I can get with his. What did you want to get with his baby mama or something? Like like, I don't understand.
Oh my god, bro! It took you 20 years to confess.
Yeah, man, that's 20 years you can't get back.
What the fuck is that, bro?
That's
bro,
20 years.
Like I said, I love my brother. Like, I love him, But bro, if he did that, if he pulled that on me, bro, like, bro, what? If you knew this shit was wrong, say something, bro. Don't go 20 fucking years.
Exactly, man. For real.
Okay, so real fast, I don't know if you've heard about this other story about these fucking 3 brothers in Texas, right?
Mhm.
The stepdad allegedly fucking raped their sister, sexually assaulted their sister. And these guys killed this guy. They beat his ass to death. They killed him. And he died. And now they're going to be sentenced for murder. And there's a fucking petition online to get these guys out because, you know, obviously they could justify the killing of this guy because he fucking sexually assaulted their sister. What do you think about that?
Man, that's like, I don't think, you know, nobody should, you know, be justified of killing anybody, regardless of what it is,
Right,
though. You know,
right.
no petition should be out, you know. But I think, man, nah, like, even though, you know, he did that, I think, you know, he should serve his time. And I mean, or, you know, y'all, why y'all ain't called the police? Get him locked up or something like that. But now y'all gone to prison now from doing that. Like, I understand, you know, that. And you said that was the stepfather.
Yeah. So, okay. So imagine you and your 2 brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You find out that the stepfather is sexually assaulting your little sister. That's the scenario.
See, and then coming from, you know, where I come from, usually the stepfather is kind of like, yo, you ain't my father, you know, like, you know,
Right,
that type
right,
of move.
right.
So if you do anything, you know,
There's
that's
already
gonna cross this
hostility
line,
there. Right.
yeah, you know, so it's like, you know, I
So-
understand, you know, that logic with it, you know, coming from on that side, but
Right.
bro, like,
Okay, Dre. So here's the other twist in this story, right? Here's the other twist right here. So they beat this guy's ass at home. They beat his ass at wherever they were, right? The homie dips out. He dips out, walks away, whatever. And then, like an hour later, they find him rolling around the neighborhood again. Then they beat his ass again, and that's when they kill him. So, is there somewhere in there where it's like, bro, you should have let it go? Like at that first point, like you guys beat his ass, whatever, bro, let it go. But do you double down, come back, whip his ass again, and then you end up killing him? Now what?
I mean, did he do it twice? Did he, you know, did it to, you know, somebody's sister and then went out did it again?
No.
Y'all just whipped his.
They caught his ass. They beat his ass once. He dipped out, and then he came back later on, and they fucked him up again.
Man, look at y'all whooped his ass the first time. Look,
Right.
I just say, yeah, y'all whooped his ass the first time.
But at the
Got him
same
good.
time,
Leave him alone.
right?
You
At
feel
the
me?
same time, Dre, this guy had been convicted of doing this to somebody else before.
Mm-hmm.
So now what, dude? How complicated does this get? How complicated?
Yeah, that gets really complicated because then, you know, the guys, you know, sort of lose their life, you know, the rest of their life
Right.
on some nonsense that a guy who's been convicted of this multiple times of sexually assaulting little girls and stuff like that, and now he sort of got what came to him, you know, by the way of death, you know, but who says it was right for them to take his life?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
no one, but you know, that's not right. But you know, that is a twist.
Bro, that story like had me like, I was like, bro, what the fuck, man? Like, life can be just so fucking crazy, dude. Like, you never really know what anybody's been through, and like what anybody can potentially like face. Like, bro, like, I don't know, that shit's wild, dude.
Yeah, definitely wild, man. That's WTF all the way, man. For real. Hey, but you guys, man, we are having fun here on the 1130 podcast. I got my guy Chris, the host of Conversing with Chris, and these are the podcasts, chopping it up, man, here, having fun. Man, yo, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, you guys, man, yo, I got Chris, man. I'm going to put him in the hot seat. Got some questions for him. We're going to continue chopping it up here on the 1130 podcast, man. Don't go nowhere. You're listening and you're watching to the 1130 podcast. You dig?
Let's go.
TV is killer, but the way we watch it is not. So, let's do something else.
Like what?
Like channel surf with a swipe.
What are you talking about?
Talking about watch live TV wherever.
Like a food court, sir?
Sir, lady, but yeah.
Oh, baptisms.
Yup.
In a car?
Uh-huh. But not like that.
Like this.
Oh, family boat trip!
Are we still doing this? Yes, and record as many shows as you want.
There have to be some limits here, right?
Storage limits? Nah. Oh, hey man, throw that up on the TV. Woo!
One thing, you didn't mention the price.
Oh, yeah. $35 a month.
Get out of town.
I know. TV, like, actually made for us. Finally. Yeah, finally.
Yo, what up? This your boy Kenneth Stones, aka Coffee Weaston. This your boy D.O.E. Good Brother Bowl. And we are the Dirty Hills. You already know, man. You tuning in to 11:30 podcast. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Dude, that's my job. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Yeah. And you have been Dirty Hills approved.
Yo, we back here on the 1130 podcast. Appreciate everyone sticking with me throughout the short commercial break. For real, man, welcome back here. We here on EB Radio and YouTube. I got my guy, Chris, man, the host of Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Joining me this week here on the 1130 podcast, man. It's been a great show, man. Chopping it up with my guy, man. Yes, he's the host of Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Before we get on, man, what you got planned with the Conversing with Chris and Misa podcast, man? Because you guys, man, just been, doing some big things and continue doing it, man.
So I don't know if you know what UTEP is. UTEP is the University of Texas at El Paso. That's our college that we have here. And so I got their resident DJ on. He DJs all the basketball games, all the football games, all the big events that UTEP throws on. He's their DJ. So we have him on. His name is Jason Craig, and he'll be on the podcast. But we kind of do like a similar style to what you do here with interviewing people. But it's more like we try to focus on El Paso. Like El Paso is like a unique city. Like we try to find people in the city that are doing like big things, and we bring them on the pod. And Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can find us anywhere that you find podcasts. And yeah, man, we just like to hang out and have fun.
Hey, that's what's up, man. I'm always down for it, man. I'm tuning in as always, for real. You guys, man, go check out the new episode of Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, man, for real. When I'm always listening to my podcast, I like to have me a nice J ready to the side, so I can, smoke and listen to the podcast, man, for real, because I need to take my mind off of things, especially on my off days, man, for real. My thing, I like my backwoods. We were kind of like talking about this before the podcast, man. So you say you don't get down with backwoods,
bro. I don't. Okay, so here's the thing. I mean, I don't even know where to start, really. But my thing is like, look, dude, like, I'm not a tobacco smoker. I mean, I used to be, but I'm not anymore. And so, like, I don't want any fucking mixture of tobacco and nug in my shit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
and
sense.
Like the backwood is kind of, it's a tobacco leaf, right? That's what it is. Yeah. And like that's what it's meant to give you, that kick of both. You get your tobacco and your THC at the same time. But for me, I'm just a THC guy. I'd rather just have that. And then I think the backwoods hit, it's a little harsh, right?
Yeah. Some of them hit a little harsh. Depends on how you roll it though. Because you're the funnel,
right?
Yeah. A lot of people definitely like my cousin and my little brother. they smoke the funnel. You know, when they put funnel in that, they be like, oh my God, I'm about to die. Like, why? Well, like, why? Like, bro, like, like I understand the backwoods, but dog, I ain't trying to like, you know, feel like I'm trying to smoke 8 cigarettes when I'm trying to get high.
I don't want to smoke cigarettes. I want to smoke weed.
Exactly.
Like that's what I'm here for. I ain't smoking those cigarettes, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like, nah, definitely not though. But I was like, bro.
You know what, Dre? I would definitely smoke a backwood with you though, for sure.
Okay.
Because, like, dude, in El Paso, there's not a lot of black people. Like, so nobody's really smoking backwoods out here. Yeah. So I could just be cultural, like, ignorant over here. And, like, I mean, I would go over. If I was with you, I'd hit the backwood, bro. Like, that's what we got to do. But an EP, like, that's not like an option here. Like, we're all different, you know?
Yeah, man, for real. Hey, everybody got that.
Yeah. But like I said, if I'm with you, we're smoking the backwood. We're smoking the backwood. That's it.
Hey, look at we got to do both of them, man. I gotta do your thing, man. How you get down too, man, for real. Because you know we gotta trade out. You know, each other get down. So
yeah, we all just blazing out here. Like that's it. That's like really what it's about.
Yeah, definitely what it's about, man. For real. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on the podcast. Another thing that's going on in the world right now, that's really, you know, going up right now, and it's Bitcoin. You know, cryptocurrency is really taking over. In Las Vegas right now, it's a strip club called Crazy Horse, and they are now accepting lap dances. They're now accepting lap dances and everything, you know, by, you know, Bitcoin. You can pay for, you know, your lap dance and everything by Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. What do you think the world is going at right now with this whole Bitcoin and cryptocurrency?
Bro, honestly, like I try, dude, like I'm like, okay, like I would say I'm not like a dumb person, but at the same time, like I don't dive straight into like all these other fucking things, like all these things, like these side coins, like Dogecoin, like Bitcoin, whatever. Like I don't really like dive into that right away. But at the same time, I get it. Like it's like the future, right? Like the dollar's gonna like disappear eventually. We're gonna need a new currency. Like I understand all that, but I mean, I don't know. Like, do you really think this shit is like legit for sure? Like, this is how we're gonna live later? I like, dude. There was recently, like the other day, a big crash, right, for fucking cryptocurrencies like Doge. Everybody crashed like hard the other day, and I don't know if this is something that's like sustainable. But at the same time, I don't know enough about it. So
yeah, like, I don't either. I don't either. I was just, you know, just asking you because I'm like, you know, a lot of people is like, you know, especially when my cousin come around, he'd be like, yo, man, like a couple of years ago, man, if I would have put like such amount of money into like Bitcoin, man, we would be it. And I'm like, okay, like, what's going on here? Like,
at the same time, I feel like it's the same people that would like be gambling a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just like, they want that, like, and I don't blame them, but it's like, hey, if I can get a quick buck, let me get a quick fucking buck. You know what I mean? If I can spend so much and turn it into this much in this much time, like, boom. Yeah, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be anti fucking money maker over here, but like, it's kind of like the same people that are like in those areas that kind of operate the same way. And like, they think like we can make so much money off of this, which is fine, but I don't know, Dre. I don't buy into things like that as easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me neither. Like I like my dollar fresh. You know, I like my dollar bills and stuff like that.
You telling me in my hand, right?
Exactly.
Money in your pocket.
You telling me I got digital money? That's like really no. I need something cash paper that I can feel that I can. Okay, all right, yes.
And honestly, Dre, like, dude, look at how old we are, right? Like debit cards have been a part of our life for like the majority of our life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Imagine being somebody like your dad or your uncle that when they got their paycheck, it was all cash, bro. It was all flush cash. You're getting $2,000 cash right then and there. Boom, boom, boom. Like those people are not going to want to trust any type of digital currency, bro.
No,
they're never going to want to do that. Like, then it's and it makes sense for them. Like, I agree. I can see it through them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you got paid, Dre, $3,000 in cash every day or every 2 weeks for your life for 30 years, like, are you going to buy into a digital currency?
Nah, because not to say I wouldn't buy into it, and a lot of people won't buy into it, especially like you said, we, excuse me, been, working and getting paid by cash for 20, 30, 40 years of our lifetime, and some new generation come around and it's like, it's, and that's how it is, with the social media, with anything, or just cell phones, everything is just different now. It's just, I don't know. I really don't know.
And I'll tell you real fast, like, I mean, I've been like, I work full time. I work for, I'm not going to say where I work, but I work full time. And in the last 5 years, I have not received a physical check. It's all direct deposit. It just hits your bank account. Boom. All of a sudden you have money. You never actually see the money, but all of a sudden it's there. And like, it's like the transition of how people are going to go about their life. Like, people aren't going to be having cash anymore. Like, that's gone. Like, now it's like you're either going to have a debit card or now you're going to have a fucking NFT or a crypto or whatever the fuck it. You know what I mean? It's just life progressing. Like, and we're seeing it happen right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. What would you not spend with Bitcoin, or what would you buy with the first Bitcoin check, I guess?
Well, that's the thing, dude. What do you buy? Like, okay, do I buy a car? Do I buy a house? Or, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're right. You're right. Even with this story, I'm not about to tip no woman of a lap dance with Bitcoin.
Exactly. Like, what are you going to do? Like, what are your realistic options in that situation? You know what I mean? It's easy to say, like, hey, we could hit the club all night, whatever. You know what I mean? But like, you can't pay the club Bitcoin. Like, they want some they're gonna ask for your debit card at the end of the night. They're not gonna ask for your Bitcoin card. But dude, at the same time, and like, this is just being completely honest, dude. Like, we could just be ignorant as fuck about this. Like, we could just be like thinking wrong. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? In 5 years, maybe we're looking at them and like, oh, dude, we should have hopped on that train then. You know what I mean?
You're right.
But who knows? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, nobody's ever right. Nobody's ever completely 100% right. But I mean, what we do is we act on our feelings and our emotions and our gut feelings, whatever, dude. But like, it's just crazy, dude. Like, life is just fucking changing so fast.
Yeah, everything is changing so fast, man.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Next thing, we're gonna have flying cars, and I think they on the way. So it's
well, dude. So like, another thing too, and I don't want to get bogged down. We can move on, but like, eventually, like, a lot of semis that you see that are like 18-wheelers, semis that are like taking cargo from place to place. Like, eventually, all that shit's gonna be automated. Like, they're already working on that.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing that's gonna happen. And it's going to take maybe 10 or 20 years, but most of the trucks that you'll see on the freeway at that point are going to be self-driving trucks.
I know, right?
And now what happens to that workforce of people? Now what?
That's what they already, and I think that's what, especially at the times when we living in right now, that's where everything is designed, to do, to get rid of everybody, all the workers out of all the warehouses.
Now, man. Everything's automated. You know what I mean?
So right about that.
It's crazy, bro. But that's all I wanted to say on that. We can get to whatever you want to get to after that. I was just, I got deep right there,
Hey, no, it's definitely needed it. Definitely needed it, man, for real. But you guys, man, we gonna move on. On the podcast, we gonna continue the fun, man. Yes, man, we gonna continue the fun. It's time for the 11:30 podcast hot seat, you guys. All right. It's time for the 11:30 podcast hot seat. Chris, man, I got 6 questions, man. I'm gonna ask you.
All right. Let's get it.
Okay. All right. What life lessons have you had to learn the hard way?
So I think the life lesson that I would have to say I learned the hard way is like, you really can't trust everybody, bro. Like, you really can't trust, like, even if they're like, I mean, and dude, and I hate saying this because this doesn't apply to everybody, but like, sometimes you really have to watch out who you trust, because they can ultimately fuck you up more than anybody else. But at the same time, like, you know, if you have a good friend, if you have a good, like your family's good, anything like that, you can trust those people. I'm not saying don't trust anybody, but sometimes like somebody that you trust will fuck you over, and you kind of have to deal with it, you know? So that's what I would say.
And you're right about that. That just goes to the story.
The hard way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right about that. That goes just to the story that we were talking about earlier with the twin brother, you know, fucking over his brother just because, you know, he's identical. So
and I'll just like give you quick context real fast. Like, somebody that I thought I trusted ended up ratting me out, and I ended up getting like arrested for like selling fucking weed, essentially. Like, that's the short story, but that's really what happened. But it was a homie that I thought I trusted, right? And the next thing you know, he asked me to sell weed to his uncle. His uncle was an undercover cop. Boom. Don't trust everybody right there.
Crazy, man.
It's crazy, man.
People want to see you down. People will love to see your downfall, man. Love to sit back and
the
watch
worst part is too, even after everything, they'll act like they never even fucking put themselves in that situation. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, question 2. Let's get it.
All right. If you can only teach one thing to your future child, what would it be?
I would just say respect, man. Just respect everybody. Just like, you know, like everybody you see, whether you're out, whenever you're out, dude, like you're gonna encounter all these situations. Like, if you can just show respect to everybody, people will respect you back, and you know that just makes life easier. Like, it's almost like that rule, like treat everybody how you would want to be treated. You know?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, it's and the worst thing is, dude, is like, Dre, you have to ask me like why that would be like the main thing I would fucking pass on to my kid. Like, that's the worst part about life, is like that as people, we're not all doing that. You know what I mean? Like, we should all be doing that, like making sure that we are teaching our kids like basic things like respect and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Definitely. You got to teach them respect, you know, and, you know, to have, you know, manners and stuff like that. That's definitely that, man.
No, because respect and manners, like that matters all over the world.
Yeah, that'll take you far.
Not just like, that's not an English thing or an American or a Mexican thing. That's like worldwide. That shit like translates.
Yes, you're right. That'll take you real far in life, man. And definitely what I want to, you know, install that I would love to, you know, install in my, you know, future child, you know, besides, you know,
right. You have a kid coming up, dude. You have a kid, like,
you know,
your chance to like actually like make these impressions on your kid, and that way he grows up knowing like that I have to respect people. I can't just like, regardless of skin color or stature or whatever, like everybody should be respected. You know what I mean? It just levels the playing field.
Yeah, definitely. And one last thing I was just saying, just to, you know, make sure my child, you know, stay involved into something that they love, you know. And I think a lot of people, certain kids, you know, go in the wrong direction because they have so much time on their hands, and with social media and with so much things been, you know, the way they are now, just, you know, if they love doing what they doing, painting or whatever, just support them and push them, nourish them in the right direction.
Right. And honestly, Dre, one of the challenges you are going to have as a parent is dealing with how your kid relates to social media. Like, because, dude, you would be dumb to say that your kid would never ever get into social. They're gonna get into it. They're at school. Everybody's into this shit. So you have to prepare your child to embrace that world. You know what I mean? And honestly, it's your job to make sure that kid can go into fucking life and still be able to fucking hang out and whatever. You know what I mean? You got to prepare them for that. And I don't know. I think that's something that a lot of people don't, as parents, they don't really fucking take that seriously. But I would say, Dre, that's something you got to think about.
Yeah, and I definitely will, because, parents, who had kids 20, 30 years ago, they didn't have to worry about that social media.
Right. I don't have to worry about that, bro, at all, ever.
Yeah. So
but now this is dominant in our life, dude. Think about it. How, like, dude, I'm on my phone all day. I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm sure you're on your phone a lot. Yeah. I know you are because we hit each other up.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like, when shit matters, it's like being able to fucking set that shit apart. And I know as a father, you'll be able to do that. And it's about distilling that into your child and making that child somebody that can embrace the world and really understand how it is, because the world is fucked, bro. It's really fucked,
Mm-hmm. Right about that, man. Okay. Do you think our dreams have a hidden meaning?
No, I wouldn't say a hidden meaning, but I think so your brain is what controls really what you dream about. So I think you can have these episodes or dreams that come up that your brain reenacts, or it's like your brain puts you back in these situations, especially somebody that has a PTSD, you know what I mean? Somebody that's been through some tragic, super dramatic shit, their brain can probably reverse itself and kick into this mode where they feel like they're back in that time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sort of. Because I be having I used to have these dreams where I used to, and I was explaining to my buddy, but he didn't really give me a good sort of explanation. So it really didn't, hit to me. But nonetheless, I used to have these dreams where I used to get shot, and obviously, I didn't, after a while, and I'm starting having these dreams, I realized, okay, I got shot, this is a dream, so, I just, didn't, I was like, was this a meaning or something or whatever like that? But yeah, it's pretty weird. So I always wondered,
I think something that I've noticed with certain people is let's say Dre, for you, right? Let's say you were sexually abused at a young age, a young Dre, an 8-year-old Dre, right? And these moments were never you were never able to express what happened, you know what I mean? You kind of sheltered it in, right? So imagine you having these dreams of this shit reoccurring. That shit would probably fuck you up a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's the type of dreams that are negative, where they it's reinforcing shit that you felt way back a long time ago, but it's fucking you up still. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those dreams right there, man. Sounds like someone, definitely PTSD, like you mentioned.
Right.
Man, that gotta be rough right there.
Right.
Definitely gotta be rough. Okay. What's your game plan in a zombie apocalypse?
Okay, so my game plan is I don't really have one because I would probably not last very long. But what I'm saying is my thing is I'm just gonna have to ride it out and just make the best of it. So I'm gonna grab as much beer, liquor, weed, anything that I can, find a place to post, and then maybe find some friends to post, and then just chill. I don't know. I'm not gonna be the one out there trying to save the world and shit. I'm chilling, bro. I ain't looking for conflict if it's there. You know what I mean? But
Exactly. You watch these shows like Walking Dead or Dead Walking, and they all got to get out. They all got to go downstairs and let's leave out and let's see if we can get into the day. Hell no, let's stay here. We got zombies trying to eat us. Come on,
yeah, dude. I'm gonna just every day just sip a fifth of fucking Jack and chill. You know what I
mean? Exactly. Okay. What are you most proud of in the last year?
Not to be a fucking bitch or anything, but I would just say I'm most proud of keeping the podcast going, and not even what the podcast is doing, but just keeping it going, dude, because dude, it's super hard. You have to be dedicated. Like you have to put in the time. You have to like be willing to actually give it all your all to keep a podcast going out each week. And like I said, I don't want to focus on the content because sometimes the content varies or whatever, but like the consistency of actually coming out each week with the new episode, I would say that's what I'm most proud of. I would say that's me though.
Yeah, definitely, man. And you, like you said, consistency, man, and just hard work. It, putting out an episode each week, connecting and networking with different individuals.
Bro,
but
it's tough, bro. It's fucking tough.
It is, and I think and I think I can speak for you, but keep us going is when someone reach out to us or to be like, yo man, I would love to be on your podcast. I'm like, for real? Like who? The reaction and just everything for it. But definitely right, man. You gotta stay motivated with it, man, and keep going.
Yeah, dude. And like I also I work full time, and then I go to school. I'm still going to school. So I mean, the podcast is something that I've built and I don't want to ever see die. So I'm committed to it just as much as I'm committed to those other things. Yeah. But I think the thing too is if you can have a team, some people that will support you, that is super crucial too, because that should go such a long way, dude. Being able to know that other people around you they want you to fucking do this, they don't want you to stop, that shit is super powerful.
Yes, man, you're right, you're so right about that. Okay, what line should someone never cross with you?
I would say I'm pretty easygoing, man. I don't really I'm not a big guy that gets into conflict, but I would say you can't really ever just disrespect I would say my family or my girl or any of my friends blatantly. You can't just disrespect them like that, in a way where it's super hostile or whatever. That will never fly, because it's yo, first off, you probably don't really know us and you probably don't really know about any of the things that we've been through. But I'm super chill, dude. I'm super chill. I don't really see conflict, but the only times it's been really over things like that, where somebody just says some shit that's out of line or whatever, and it's just dude, that's not even really how it is,
Yeah, you're right about that, man. I said it last week on the podcast, man. I'm not a confrontational person. I don't do no
why? What's the fucking dude? And I don't know about you, dude, but over here, every fucking weekend you hear about two guys got shot at a bar because they were arguing over some girl or whatever the case, and it's dude. You guys are really going to throw your life away for that. You know what I mean? You realize you're going to go to jail for a long time now. It's just dude, it's not worth it, dude. You know what I mean?
It ain't worth it at all.
Right. If anything, go out there and fight each other bare knuckled. Leave the guns in the car. Don't bring them out.
Yeah, they don't do that no more. Yeah, they keep the guns. People just be I ain't got time for fighting. I'm pulling out the strap, man. That's
right.
It.
And it's I get it. Okay, but it's dude, you realize if you really did kill somebody, your life is over too. Your life is gone.
Yeah, that's the world we live in, man. People don't think no more, man.
Yeah, dude.
All right. It is. Hey, yo, Chris, man, I appreciate you joining me this week here on the 1130 podcast. Yo, man, before we get on out of here, we got final thoughts here. The Super Bowl is coming up. We're going to be having the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Who do you think will win the Super Bowl?
Okay, so real fast, Trey. Let's just say R.I.P. to Tom Brady. The GOAT. Dude, this guy's the fucking dude, I don't even like Tom Brady. I don't. But dude, when I heard him retire this week, I was kind of bro, that's the best quarterback we've ever seen and he's done. You know what I mean? But anyway, so you know what? I'm down with that, dude. I want to see new quarterbacks, new teams in the Super Bowl. I don't always want to see Tom Brady versus fucking Mahomes or whatever. And I'm a Dallas fan, and fuck me.
But yeah, and I gotta ask, man, how did you feel? I gotta ask. I don't mean to cut you off, man. Because
yeah, that's cool. But we didn't deserve to get that far, dude. Like we suck. We fucking suck, dude. We suck again. Like that's what happens as a Cowboy fan. But in the general picture, like fucking, I'm glad that so far the Bengals are in. Regardless, though, I'm glad to see that it's not Brady, it's not Mahomes. It's like we got some new blood in the fucking playoffs this year, and you know I'm not gonna like. I'll only be happy if it's the Cowboys, but if the Cowboys are in it, then are not in it, then you know we'll figure it out. We'll go for somebody else. Fuck it.
Yeah, man. Dallas, man had a rough time, man.
Oh, we suck, dude. We're fucking ass. Like I'm not even gonna like
oh, man.
Like we lost to the 49ers at home, bro. We're ass.
Okay, so real quick, did Dak Prescott need to run a quarterback sneak, or did he should have look for the referee to spot the ball?
I mean, like it's hard to say that everything comes down to that. You know what I mean? Because you could have won the game in so many other aspects, but like I don't know, dude. Like, is really like a quarterback sneak at the very end of the game the best play you could really call? Like, is that really what that is? And if so, then you need to look around. Like, the best play we could call is a quarterback sneak. Like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, I'm not like, dude, like I said, I'm no fucking professional, but I don't know. Just from observations, I would just say like this shit it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, man. It didn't make sense, man. Look at man.
What do you want me to do?
Look at my Ravens got knocked out of the playoffs. Ben Roethlisberger knocked them out. So look at we sitting at home with everybody else watching the playoffs.
Exactly. Me and you are on this podcast right now because our teams are not in the playoffs.
Exactly.
If the Cowboys were playing, I wouldn't be out here right now.
I know, right? yo, Chris, man. This has been an awesome time chopping it up with you, my guy. Before you go, any shout outs, any questions, anything you like to say?
Shout out to you for sure. 1130 podcast. We got the merch on. Dude, you're just a real one, bro. Like, I mean, you're like, I met a lot of people on the internet and shit, but like, you're one of the ones that's like a straight real person. I mean, me and you've connected so many times, so it's like easy now, but like, I don't know, man. I just wish you the best for sure. And then like everything you got coming up, like with the pod, the 1130 podcast, being on EB radio and everything that comes with that. But also now, dude, like you are venturing into a new stage of life, dude, with like a kid and all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'll be here for you, bro. That's all I want you to know is literally like, I'm not a dad, but I can like be here, I guess. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that from you, from everybody. Yes, it's another stage that I'm going into my life. And man, these last 2 years, it's just, man, I couldn't predict it. I couldn't predict it at the end of 2019 that,
me and you can never predict we'd be here together.
I know, right? I know. And the best thing I can say for anybody that, got something that they love or, that they, doing, just keep at it. Keep at it, stay positive, man, and everything is gonna come. Yo, Chris, I appreciate you all the way, man. The long way for real to coming through here on the podcast, chopping it up with me, man. This has been an awesome time. But you guys, man, you know what time it is, man. Don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow the 1130 podcast on Twitter at the 1130 podcast. Like the 1130 podcast on Facebook. Subscribe to the 1130 podcast on YouTube. And also, you guys, the 1130 podcast talk pro wrestling, available each and every Friday. Tune in because the Royal Rumble was off the chain this past Saturday, man. For real, we got a lot to get into this coming Friday with commission talks with Buzz Romalo and my guy Blackheart. And also, you guys, like my man Chris said, get the merch, hit the link in the bio at the 1130 podcast Instagram page. If you see anybody else at the 1130 podcast on Instagram, block them, report them, man, for real. But yes, get the merch, man. Support the 1130 podcast the long way. And yes, man, this has been a dope time, man, for real. Each and every Wednesday is a vibe here on EB Radio and YouTube. Shout out to everybody who support the 1130 podcast. And yo, keep subscribing and keep watching, keep liking, conversing with Chris and Misa the podcast. And this has been a great one, man. I thank everyone for tuning in. I'm about to head on out of here. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, man. For my guy Chris, and yo, this your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Stay blessed, stay safe. Give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? Yo, and I'm out.
Yes, sir. Good shit, dude.